Alright, so the FNAF movie, I loved it. Me, myself, first I'm gonna go into why this is more important later, but me, as a FNAF fan, I loved it. I would rate it as a 9 out of 10, but that's because I recognize everything in it. I heard that the Rotten Tomato critics were giving this a bad review, and you know what? I can't really blame them for that, because the thing about it, even though Rotten Tomatoes, in my opinion, is just the fucking IGN of cinema, the thing about that is that right now, they're kinda right. Like, if I were your average horror movie fan going into cinema, like, and I heard about the new Five Nights at Freddy's, this thriller horror movie, I would have gone into it expecting thriller and horror, but the thing about that is, there's hardly any of that. This movie is flipping between two things it wants to be. It wants to be a traditional spooky horror movie, which is all fine and dandy, that's what it's supposed to be, but it's also trying to be this super serious tale about Mike and Abby, and I really like that story. Honestly, I think the best parts of the movie came from that side of the story. Mike's character is played very, very well. Abby is played very well. The movie doesn't show much horror. The reason why I say this is because I timed it, right? I timed that whole movie. It took 40 minutes in a 1 hour and 40 minute movie for the animatronics to actually do something. I'm all for build up. I'm all for, getting the audience scared, getting into their head, building up to the scare, being a little more nuanced and slow with your scares rather than big, brash, and loud. But the thing about that is that in a 1 hour and 40 minute movie, 40 minutes is a long time to wait for the characters on the poster to do something. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, not even, since Foxy was played by an actual fucking animatronic that actually caught fire while filming. Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica don't really do anything until 40 minutes when some goons are trying to break into Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. 40 minutes to actually get to any action. I wouldn't really blame Rotten Tomato for coming to a horror movie and not seeing really anything until the 40-minute mark. Let's say you went to a comedy, right? You watched a comedy movie, right? And it took 40 minutes in a 1 hour and 40-minute movie for them to tell a joke or make you laugh. Bro, that's a scam. Of course, I'm not accusing the FNAF movie of scamming anybody, but of course they could have done a little more in the horror department since they're marketing as that. And I do love this movie. I still stand by the fact that it's a 9 out of 10 for me. It's a movie where the more you know about the series, the better the movie gets. When I saw the FNAF World Rainbow at a ice cream shop near the start of the movie, I smiled because I recognized it. When I found out that a cop's name was Vanessa, I smiled because I got the reference. When I saw Bonnie and Chica kill someone, Bonnie in the closet, Chica in the kitchen, I smiled because that's two places where they're commonly found in FNAF 1. It was a reference. It's the thing. But of course, references can only get you so far. Do I like Mike's story? Absolutely. Do I like Abby? Absolutely. Do I like Vanessa? More times than not. Do I love how the animatronics look and the fact that this movie even exists? Yes, 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 I love this movie, but I can't blame the critics for really hating on it. Yes, Mike's story is fire, but you didn't come here to get like a fire story. I mean, some horror movies have fire stories, I guess, but you don't really expect that when you go to a horror movie. The animatronics in question look fucking beautiful. Like, I can't really show too much because once again, copyright. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when I first heard that FNAF was a movie way back when this all started, I was super excited for this movie. And now, like almost I think maybe over half a decade later, it's finally on the big screen. Holy shit, bro. I just want to say big props to Scott, Blumhouse, everyone involved, Matt, Pat, Corey, all the actors that I can't remember the name of. I loved you all. You guys did an amazing job on this film, and you should all be proud of yourselves for making it. And the FNAF fan base, you should all be proud of yourselves for making this happen. Without us, the game would have never blown up, and then thus the movie would have never been made. This is something for all of us to celebrate. Actors, directors, players, even people looking in from the outside who are looking to get inside. All of us should pat ourselves on the back because not only is this here, and it's a great movie if you're a fan, but a second movie that could probably clean up the mistakes of the first movie got confirmed. Would I recommend this movie? Would it get the ultimatum stamp of approval? I'm gonna have to say 7 out of 10 times, no. And that's because 7 out of 10 times, I'm not talking to a FNAF fan, or at least a die-hard FNAF fan, someone who's played the majority of the games, knows at least a good chunk of the lore, you know, a fan who would actually catch the references and understand these things, because I hate to sound like a fucking gatekeeper, that shit's cringe, but if you're looking at this as a generic moviegoer, it's not that good. You came for horror, and what did you get? A really good story, I guess, but most of the horror sequence have like 5 to 10 minutes in between them. If I were to spitball, and feel free to prove me wrong about this in the future, I am talking off the top of my head based off my initial memories from the movie, I'm pretty sure that if you were to compile all the time the animatronics were actually doing spooky things, not building fortresses with Abby, not goofing around like children, not falling over, which is an interesting take on the animatronics. I mean, there literally is children in those animatronics, so it makes sense that they'd act like children, but the thing is that they are the main threat in this movie. And when the main threat of this movie is goofing around, playing house with, you know, the main character, it doesn't make it scary. So if you were to compile all the time the animatronics were actually doing spooky shit, I'd say it would total up to about maybe 20 minutes. At most. I'm highballing it right now. I'd say 15 or 20. The highest highball I can give it is like 30 minutes. Let's just assume I'm correct here, right? If I'm correct, there is 70 minutes of not horror in this film. Is it great? Yes. Is it funny? Yes. I'm not trying to disagree with you there. But would I recommend this to anybody who isn't a FNAF fan? No. So if you're out there and you meet somebody who maybe doesn't agree with your opinion on the movie, then I mean, that's okay. Try to understand where they're coming from. Because I saw that some people fought over the movie in the theater, bro. Excuse me? So, you know, don't, when you hear somebody out there disagree with you, don't start a fight over it. Just understand that maybe they're just not into FNAF as much as you are, or maybe I've heard FNAF fans straight up say, hey, this isn't a horror movie, I don't want it. Either way, if you want to say hi or just had any comments on what I said today, please share them down below. What do you think of the FNAF movie? And consider subscribing. This is my lowest quality video yet. Holy shit, I'm probably gonna terminate this thing, bro. But anyway, enjoy your day and post a bear emoji in the comment or something if you made it this far. Bye bye.